and you can intermix mono and stereo discs. Yes, it's incredible. A little later, I'll tell you more about the fabulous new Chrysler 3-in-1 automatic portable stereogram. Remember, your Chrysler retailer has one on display, and he'd love to show it to you.
I have this kind of theory that, like, for a long time, people liked the experience of listening to music. You know, we liked, like, putting a record on, this, like, your parents or my parents, whatever, even my grandparents. They liked the experience of, like, putting a record on, sitting down, listening to music. And then we didn't have was, like, music on the go. So we kept sort of, like, trying to mobilize it each time, making it, like, smaller. So, you know, then we got tapes, and then we got CDs, and we're getting smaller, and we got digital, and then we got streaming, and then we could have, like, the world's bank of music on us at all times. But the problem with that was we sort of started missing the experience of listening to music again. So I think we went back to the one thing that was like an experience.
You know, holding a record, reading the lyrics, there's artwork involved, you know, there's liner notes, you can see like who the personnel was. There may even be some background, like information written out. Usually it's like a little article telling you when the concert took place, something about behind the scenes stuff. So all that you kind of miss when you just go to like Spotify and press play on something. Yeah, you get the song, but you don't get everything else that comes with it. So,
You know, I don't know if vinyl sounds better than digital. I mean, I don't think that my ear is, like, keen enough to pick up on these things. Like,
there's definitely, you know, MP3 kind of compresses everything together, and even WAV files compress things. So, you know.
But, like, that's not my interest in vinyl. It's not my interest in collecting. I don't care if it sounds better.
If you listen to vinyl, you can actually, like, on a lot of records, you can hear, like, when say a drummer hits a hi-hat or something, you can actually hear the vibration.
That's just me. I don't really know. I don't think my ear can tell the difference between, like, the most perfect record equipment and, like, one step down.
This is the Edison Diamond Disc of 1889. As the records changed, so of course did the players. This is the ram's horn player, obvious where it got its name.
I would say from the age of maybe 10, 11, we used to save up our money, myself and my brother, and buy different vinyls. But there was nothing written in stone as to who was going to get them.
And my father was an avid music listener, so he had all kinds of records. I mean, we lived behind a iron curtain, so getting access to certain records was not possible. But he was still able to, like, find a bunch of records on the black market. So.
And I was really interested in buying singles at first. I was like a singles collector. I liked the idea of buying a record and there being like an unreleased song on the B-side or like a live track or something like that.
Well, this record is the first record I bought after coming to United States. So this was 1989. On my way to, I lived in Queens, and on my way to my middle school, there was a record shop.
Like I said, when we were younger, we bought them, but then there was a lull then in the 80s. It's more like you gotta work, you gotta eat. I left home young, so you weren't dragging around no record player after you. But it kind of started to kick back up again then when I came to America in the 90s. So
I went from having about 200-300 records to I'm now at about 9,000 or 10,000 records. So it's a problem. And then I ended up opening up the shop somewhere in the middle there. I know my taste. I know what I like. And I sort of made this store for my friends. Like, I thought about, like, what would my friends like? You know, I know like my friends' tastes. I know that some of them like lean towards like metal, some of them like punk, some of them like indie rock, some of them like jazz, you know, so like that stuff is like easy for me to find because I go looking for it, you know. One thing that I think is like super important about collecting and about the store is it creates a community in not only in like my neighborhood, but it's amongst vinyl collectors too. And I think that with that we also look out for each other. There's this running theme in like at shows and stuff that if somebody falls down you help them up, like in the pit or whatever. If somebody falls down you help them up, and that's like a metaphor for how we treat each other, you know. So like more than anything, the most important thing that this store creates is a community. It's not about like how much money I make from it or the records that I sell. It's way more about the community that we create. And I think it's really important, and that's what this store has done. And I don't know, I think that that's what we should continue to do.